Are yoga, meditation, and tarot demonic? I think my answer might surprise you. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. So we're going to take all three. Don't worry, it's not going to take forever. It's not very complicated, but we'll start with meditation. Now, I've done other videos to talk about meditation in general, and specifically sort of different ancient Christian mystical forms of meditation. And what you actually find is that meditation is something that is in many, many religions, and especially in the Eastern world, it's a core concept of how you relate with the divine. And a lot of the quote-unquote Christian meditation practices are almost the exact same as meditation practices in other religions in that part of the world. And so to think that meditation itself is like fundamentally bad or sort of negative spiritual energy or anything like that is just completely wrong-headed. Meditation is an important practice in a lot of religions, including Christianity. And so for you, if you are a Christian or if you are a person that's trying to connect with God, do not worry about meditation. Enjoy it. Use it to help you connect with the divine, to help you let go of your conscious mind so that you can rest in the in this sort of like amazing state of divine union that happens when you practice meditation. Let's talk about tarot. And oh man, it's really spooky. I can remember when I was in the evangelical world, this was one of the ones that people were most afraid of and most concerned that you might be possessed by a demon if you touched a tarot deck. I remember when I was growing up, there was a store in our mall that came in that had tarot and all kinds of other interesting spiritual practice books and resources, and the evangelicals lost their mind. You could even buy rain sticks in there and crystals. Man, it was the devil. But what's interesting about tarot is that this kind of practice, engaging with God, the idea of sort of like some sort of randomized deck of cards, or people will like read tea leaves or do other sort of random things, that's actually part of the spiritual practice that we see in the Bible, the idea of like rolling dice and that kind of stuff. In fact, in the book of Acts, you have, they're waiting for they're trying to figure out who's going to be the next disciple. They have a couple of names to replace Judas after Judas unalived themselves, and then they take these basically dice things, and it's called casting lots. They throw them on the ground, and that decides it. This sort of randomized things help them understand what it is that God is saying to them, which is exactly the sort of basic fundamental underlying premise behind tarot, which is that the idea is that like the divine or the spirit world can help communicate to you by the sort of randomized deck of cards that is pulled in a certain order to hear from God. So, it's not that different from practices actually in the Bible itself. But man, yoga, poor yoga. I feel so bad for this. It actually grows out of a Hindu religion, and but it's practiced in so many different ways in the modern world. A lot of people do take the Hindu philosophy with it. There are also people that do sort of Christian versions of it, but let's ignore the Christian version of it. Let's talk about an actual Hindu expression of it. We have a problem here, because when we talk about other religions in the world, I understand that the fundamentalist evangelicals want to demonize all other religions and to like treat other religious people as fundamentally flawed, and sometimes even make fun of them, and or worse, call their religion satanic or demonic. And that's what's happening here. When people say that yoga is a demonic practice, or a practice where you might be sort of possessed or open to evil spirits, what they're saying is other religions do that. And it's not okay. It's not okay to demonize other religions, other people who are trying to seek God, seek the divine, and because they're different than you, telling them that they are demonic. It's awful. And it's the kind of like traumatic religious experience that a lot of us had as growing up in the evangelical world around a whole lot of things. And being afraid of yoga is really about being afraid of other religions. The thing is, we live in a pluralistic world. We live next to people who are Hindu and Buddhist and Wicca and Muslim and Jewish and Christian and atheist and agnostic. We live next to people of all faith and no faith. And the idea that we should be about belittling other people's faith is ridiculous. What we need is more interfaith work. People of all religions, people of all stripes coming together to work together for a more loving and just world. That's what we need. We don't need more division. We don't need another reason to hate and separate ourselves from other people in the world. So the quick answer, are yoga, meditation, and tarot demonic? No.